Hello, next video. Today we're gonna take a look at some battles that got sent to us here with Shadow Aggron, and this player said that they got a 15-game win streak with this Pokemon, which is kind of insane. As we can take a look at the gameplay now, we're going to see an Alolan Muk as a safe swap here with a Snarl, which is something that you usually don't really see anymore. And we see a Dragonite in the lead, which is basically everywhere. We basically have a Steel type plus Dragonite core, which is something that's like super common. So let's take a look on how this player is playing and if we can see something that we can improve or just general things. I kind of want to take a look on how good Aggron can be, to be honest, because this Pokemon is kind of cool as it has like access to Smackdown for all the flying types. I like the Dragonite right now, as we can now see what this thing can do. Also, like, it's going to be good against something like the Togekiss, also maybe against Snorlax. I'm actually not sure. Let's see what we can do here. They can shield up the move from the Snorlax, going to be Body Slam, got bait by the opponent. I don't think one Stone Edge will do enough, so if they have a superpower, they're most likely going to be able to still going to KO you there. If they went for the superpower immediately, that would have been nice for you, but like this, you will not be able to win this game anymore. But you also kind of got hard-walled, so I guess it's fine. We see here they have an Obstagoon against them. We will see that they can go ahead and go for some... Okay, they don't even throw anything, and they go into their Muk now. I'm actually curious on how this matchup going to go. Of course, like... Their fast move going to do more damage, but you're going to be able to hit your fast moves faster. I would have expected them to go for the Acid Spray first because it would help them a little bit more. Like this, I think the Snarl version might be a little bit better. Going for the Sludge Wave here is, I think, the right play. I think it has the higher damage per energy, so I think that's fine, while they go now for the Dark Pulse. I don't know if it would have been in farm down range with the Sludge Wave. I think it would have been, but it's fine as the opponent catches now a move on the Obstagoon. And you can actually just go for one Dragon Claw here, to be honest. Like, it's in range where you don't really need the superpower anyway, and you're going to get a shield here. They could have a Hyper Beam, but okay, you're going to get hit by the Hyper Beam as well. And now it's a little bit awkward because you have to farm down something with an Aggron, and this was like a risk that was maybe not really needed to take in there. Like, for example, you had already the shield advantage there, so like just shielding once would have helped you there a lot. So now you still have a chance though of winning this game because they have a Chandelure in the back, and you will be able to... Okay, this was most likely the thing that's going to lose you the game, because now they can go for a charge move. Exactly. If you just stayed in there, you would have won the game 100%. Just stay in there, farm the opponent down, you would have been fine. Like this, you're going to lose this game here. Next opponent, we will see that they have a Gyarados in the lead. That's of course not the ideal scenario for the Dragonite, still not the worst, but definitely something where you can swap out, especially if you have an Aggron in the back. But yeah, in the game before, just stay in with the Aggron, you will be able to just farm down everything, would have been way better, and also the shield against a potential Hyper Beam, like it was way safer to just shield there, to be honest. We see them just going down now with their Muk, and you can go back into the Shadow Aggron, farming them down, seeing the Snorlax coming in, which is going to be a Shadow version now, which would be a little bit better for you, but you're going to swap into your Dragonite, which can take those Body Slams now. Of course, it would have been cool if you caught the superpower, but that's a little bit of a difficult task. I don't know if they were already at a superpower, even if they would throw a superpower immediately is a questionable thing there, so... You can go straight for one Dragon Claw now. You will be able to get the shield and you will be able to KO the opponent as well, which makes this very nice for you. As you now still have the Aggron, let's hope that they have something in the back that you can destroy with your charge moves. You can shield this Aqua Tail up, farm this thing down, and we see a Fairy type in the back with the Sylveon, which now can get heavy slammed by this Aggron, and Aggron can go to town, going for a full farm down and now Stone Edging this Gyarados. Good game there, very nice farm down there, very good. Like seeing the potential of farming down the Sylveon instead of going for two moves. At the end of the day, I think you could have just farmed down the Gyarados as well, but very cool game there. As we see the opponent having no answer for Smackdown, this is what I mean. Right now, the meta is pretty weak against all the rock typings, like Smackdown users. Also, something like Crustle would be pretty decent right now. Or even the Community Day Pokemon. But not really, to be honest. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of weaknesses against those Smackdown users. You can shield the Earthquake here, good shield there. You will be able to realign. You have a lot of energy, so you can just throw a move here, should have thrown a charge move, to be honest. Was kind of like, of course, like also kind of obvious that they get to another move and you see a Typhlosion coming in, you swap out immediately, which allows you now to still get to one move here, which is a good fast swap, as they can go for one Blast One, which most likely going to completely destroy you here. Actually, they can still get one move, which is kind of bad for you, but it doesn't really matter too much, I think, as you're going to be able to resist this move here. You can go ahead and try to calculate how much farm you can get here. You can actually farm them all the way down, never mind. And you will be able to just go for one Dragon Claw and win the game. I think the opponent lagged a little bit, but good farm down there, and this will win you this game. Next opponent, let's see what they can do. We see a Dragonite against a Dragonite. Again, you can kind of swap out. You swap out immediately into your Aggron, which is not the ideal play, to be honest. This is some fundamental stuff, to be honest. Don't really go into your hardest answer if you swap out, because, yeah, of course, now you have a little bit of a good matchup, which kind of makes it look like a good play, but usually you kind of don't want to go into your hardest answer immediately, because if they have something like a fighter in the back or like a ground type in the back, you're kind of screwed. Here you guess that they go for the bait move, but they didn't, which can happen. I mean, it's kind of fine. You can still go for one Dark Pulse and you should be able to KO the opponent's Walrein, hopefully. But they shielded up anyway, and now you can shield up as well. Totally normal play. We see the Earthquake actually coming through, which is nice for you, and we see a Venusaur coming through as well, which means that your Alolan Mug going to have a lot of value here, going to be able to destroy most of the Pokemon, as you see them going for a Sludge Bomb against your Dragonite here. Alolan Mug going to be able to resist all the moves of Venusaur. If you swapped out a little bit faster, to be honest, you would have got him a little bit lower and a little bit closer to farm down range for the Mug. Now you can have to throw a charge move here. So swapping out faster there would have been a little bit better in my opinion, but you can just go ahead and go for some Dark Pulses here and you should be pretty fine, as this will KO them and you should be able to get to another Dark Pulse in time before they can get to an Earthquake. So good game there, well played there, as we see the next opponent. Dragonite against Lapras. Again, don't go straight into Aggron, go rather into your Saystop, which is the Alolan Mug. It's difficult to have basically a Pokemon, like just swapping in between Pokemon for save swaps. There are teams which I also have showcased before, for example my Luxray team, where there is a case of doing this, but it really depends of having two pretty good Pokemon against the entire meta in the back. And like this here, for example, you didn't know that you get to the Stone Age at the same time, which I also didn't know, which is fine not knowing, but yeah, it's a little bit tricky sometimes. Here, I think you could have shielded, to be honest, as the Ice Beam. I mean, you'd have to let one go anyway, so I guess it's fine. It doesn't matter at this point. Never mind there. Like, if you have to let one go anyway, it's fine. You could have definitely farmed them down here, which would have been way better. As we see the Lapras coming back in, which is good for you. And I don't know where you swap into your Dragonite here. Yes, you catch the Surf, but also, okay, you catch a Primarina in the back. Pretty lucky for you that they have something even better against the Dragonite in the back. So now it actually was a good play in swapping into the Dragonite. Otherwise, swapping a Dragon and Flying type into an Ice type was not the smartest idea. But it's still fine here because the opponent even had a better answer in the back. But yeah, you're most likely not going to be able to win this game still. It's going to be a tough one to still come back here. Never mind 1 HP in a Dream on this Alolan Mug going to win you the game with this Dark Pulse. Very good game then there. Very good catch on the Surf then as well. So we see a Walrein in the back. And here again, you swap into the Mug now all of a sudden. Definitely try to still swap into your Mug if you face a hard wall in the lead, as the Aggron is supposed to answer the hard wall, and if they just swap out into something like the Swampert here, you would have a little bit of a difficult time. So yeah, there's something that you can definitely take from this one. As we see, you can just go for some Dark Pulse. You actually got a shield, which is amazing for you. You can let this move go through like you do here, which is good. And now you can just farm them all the way down with your Dragonite. Don't cheat anything, don't throw anything, just farm them all the way down. You should be pretty fine. At least that's what I would say. It's another Hydro Cannon, it's totally okay for you. And you can go ahead and keep your shields for your Aggron, which really need the shields, especially as you can go now for one superpower. I like this play, to be honest, but it's also a little bit risky because now if they have something very good against your Aggron in the back, which they don't, they have only a Venusaur, you're going to be pretty fine, to be honest. You can just go ahead, shield up, maybe even go for a Heavy Slam, which is not the ideal move, but yeah, exactly. I like this play here because you already do a lot of damage with your fast moves anyway, so you don't really need the charge move pressure too much, and you will be able to get to this move in time before, but you can just shield it up and go for one Stone Edge as well, or like for a Heavy Slam. At this range, should have thrown earlier. This will not now KO you, and this could have been an easy game, like an easy win for you, but like this, it's not going to be. But I think that mistake you've already seen as well. There was no reason for you to overfarm there, like literally. There was no benefit of overfarming. You wouldn't get to another move against the Walrein anyway. The Walrein was super low, so yeah, that's something to take from that. Don't overfarm when you don't need to. As we see Maki coming in here, you're going to hard lose this matchup because you already have so much damage from the Gardevoir and the charm of them, so it's going to be a little bit of a tough one there for you again, as you can now let this move go through. Going to be an Acid Spray. You might actually be able to get to another shield from the opponent. Let's see, they go for a charge move here. No, shielding here was definitely not the play. Like, no matter what it was, like, shielding there didn't really help you. You only can maybe get a shield back here, but this doesn't really help you, and swapping into the Dragonite here doesn't even help you either, because you know already that they have a Charmer in the back, so you kinda really are stuck now into this matchup, which is not really good for you. So shielding there didn't really make any sense at all. You would have actually survived the Acid Spray still and would have still got to your move, I'm pretty sure. And swapping then to your Dragonite, knowing that they already have a Charmer in the lead, doesn't help you at all, because now you were locked into that matchup. We see now that you can still farm down some Pokemon, I guess. You have a Charizard in the back, which of course benefits you, as you can catch a Dragon Claw, which doesn't need to be the case there, like good catch, but unnecessary, as you can just farm down everything, and Dragon Claw was resisted, but still good game there. Next opponent, we're going to see a Venusaur on the lead, very good lead for you. Of course, that your Mud can also deal with it. It kind of makes it a very good matchup for you, as you see a Togekiss coming in. You don't have to throw a single charge move here, you can just farm down. This was definitely way too fast for a Flamethrower. This is an ancient power, and you will be able to farm all the way down. I don't know if you can get to 2 Heavy Slams here, to be honest. Aggron is pretty squishy, especially the Shadow version, but let's see, though, he definitely can go there actually. And you actually would have been able to get to another Stone Edge as well. You will be able to get both shields from the opponent, which is amazing. You could think of going actually into the Mug here, but they might have another Charm user in the back if they swap immediately into it, but they actually have their own Dragonite in the back, which you can just completely destroy with this move here. And you're definitely going to be able to win this game pretty easily, as you kind of hardwall the opponent from the get-go, to be honest, as they just decide to surrender. Next opponent here, we're going to see Dragonite against Tentacruel. This is a kind of neutral matchup. You could have stayed in there for a little bit at least, because they have to throw Acid Spray at you to even throw a charge move at you, and Acid Spray doesn't really do damage, and staying in there would have helped you a little bit more. We see a Sludge Wave coming into this Obstagoon, which is kind of nice. Get me wrong, by the way, for the lead there. Against Tentacruel, stay in until they throw their Acid Spray and then swap out, because like that's definitely a little bit of a better play in my opinion. You see the Obstagoon coming in here, you can completely destroy this, which is nice. And now you can go into your Aggron here. You would let this move go through, because this move exactly there went immediately with the Acid Spray. Of course, you have to be a little bit careful with Scald, and also an Metagross in the back is something very interesting, to be honest. You should be able to win this matchup with your Dragonite with just going for the Dragon Breath, to be honest. And you should be fine winning this final game here as well, as you can farm them all the way down. You can go for another charge move here, and you would be even able to now farm down with Smackdown, I'm pretty sure, as they're going to shield this move up. I would let this go exactly, and now you can smack down everything, and you should be pretty fine. So, what you can take from this in general, like you had like 2000 ratings, so it's kind of obvious there's some mistakes there. What I would take at least from it is that you should have a designated safe swap there, which is in this case the Alolan Mug, and not go into your Aggron all the time if you have like a very horrible lead there. And also just some general gameplay there, like some decisions were not perfect, but it's something that you can kind of expect from this range. but this was like my feedback for this. Still, thanks so much for sending those battles. I think that's very interesting to see. Like, I had a lot of fun commentating it. I hope you have all a great rest of your day and see you in the next video. Bye.